and welcome. My name is Rebecca and this is Grove Knits Knitting Podcast. I mentioned in my last episode, because I'm doing the Stephen West Twists and Turns Mystery Knit Along, that I would do a little quick update on how I've progressed. I've been hesitant to do one since because I have been an absolute knitting... I've definitely not been monogamous in my knitting, and I think what it is that this mystery knit along, the part of the shawl I'm on, is so easy yet so complex. Fiddly maybe is the better word for it. So fiddly that I'm just wanting to knit anything else. I just can't. I can't keep going. But I'm about to give you a quick update. But to quickly just run through what I'm actually wearing at the moment, I am wearing my Free Your Fade, Find Your Fade. One sec, let me quickly check. What am I wearing? The issue is there's both a Find Your Fade and a Free Your Fade. It is Free Your Fade. It is not Find Your Fade, it's Free Your Fade. Alright, so this is my Free Your Fade shawl. And I'm wearing a summer dress. This is by Knititude and it's the Easy Eyelet Yoke summer dress. Sec. It'd be good if I was a bit more awkward. Easy Eyelet Yoke dress, and it is knit in cotton, and it's an 8-ply cotton, which is DK weight, and this is in the latte colourway, and absolutely love it. Great little eyelets, got the folded neck, and it's just a simple, comes down to my knees, nice and simple, great for warmer weather. You may be wondering, why are you wearing a summer dress and a Free Your Fade shawl? It's because it's a little bit cool, but I just wanted to wear the dress. We are here in Victoria. I live in Victoria in Australia, and we're in the midst of massive floods. It is all through the area that I happen to live in. Fortunately, my house is not actually directly in that line, so our property stays quite clear. We just get our surrounding areas flooded, so we get sort of stuck at home. At the moment we can get out through one side of town, but excuse me, but I'm absolutely unable to get to work or to get to the side of town that I actually need to get to. So while that's all absolutely terrible and tragic and there's so much that's going on, it's ridiculous, but it has given me a little bit of extra knitting time. So there are 3 things I'm going to show you. I'll start with the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along and where I'm up to at the moment. Now, of these yellow rows, I need to do 14 in total. I think I've got 11 done. This is the braiding, so you can see the beautiful braiding and how that's coming together. So this yellow is called the Diode colourway, and this is... I'll pop it along here. It's incredibly squishy, beautifully soft, and this is an Alameda colourway. Knit Picks, not Knit Picks. So this one's a little bit more, just not as squishy. That's all. It's not. By no stage could I ever call it a bit rough or anything, because it's not. It's just not as squishy. This is quite wonderful and rustic, and I talked about this in my last podcast. And I've got to tell you, I'm wearing it today again as well, so it's really getting a lot of wear. But I'm going to take it off. I'm going to talk a bit more about this in a second, but I'm just going to quickly show you 2 more things. I'll be right back. Now this is absolutely saturated. Well, no it's not. I've toweled it. I've got it out blocking at the moment. But it is nowhere. I only washed this and set it out to blocking about 40 minutes ago, so it's got a long way of drying yet. This is the wonderful Sophie Scarf by Petite Knits. Now, you may be wondering why on earth I've knitted this. I was certainly wondering why on earth I'm knitting it. Again, it's avoiding knitting this. I'm actually after a headband. It has blocked a bit longer than I was expecting, but I knitted this with the intention of actually just being a headband that I can wear tied down, just as a nice hair accessory. I will pop a photo up here of me actually wearing it both as a headband and then as a neckerchief, but again those photos are pre-blocking. This has blocked, this yarn has stretched beautifully and it's actually blocked quite a lot longer. I should have actually measured the length prior to blocking, but I'm never that organised. So what are you going to do? All right, my Stephen West, because I can't knit enough Stephen West at the moment, Garter Marler Cardigan. Just let me figure out where it is. Let's take, strangle myself, let's take this off. All right, so I finished this last time. Just let me pop him on. Oops, don't want to pull the needles out. Oh my God, nearly poked my eye out. All right. Oops, fingers are caught. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. All right. Since I last recorded, I had done one side of this double wacky. I hadn't done the second. So I've done all the buttonholes. I did a 3-stitch buttonhole. So I have, I think, 8 buttonholes going along here. So I need to get all the buttons for that. So that's done. And as you can see, not that sleeve, I've started doing the sleeve. Now, initially, so you can see my sleeve there, initially I started knitting in the round, and it's garter. So in the round I had to knit a row and then purl a row. And I got jack of that. Probably shouldn't say Jack, one of my son's name is Jack. That may offend him. I got rather annoyed with doing that after about 5 rows. So what I decided to do, you can see my arm here, so that's how much I did here. Oh, it's a lot more than 5 rows. It's probably about 10 rows. I did this in the round, and then I thought, you know what, I'm actually just going to knit it flat, and then I'll just seam. So I'll turn it back inside out and seam it up. So I did. I just decided to grab a different set of needles here and just decided to knit flat. So I am now there on my arm. So I'm actually going to bring this right down to wrist length and then do about a 2-inch cuff. But this is just being knitted on every time I'm fed up with doing this. So it will get there. I also just don't need something so heavy in this part of our year down here, because we're in spring at the moment, coming into summer. But I'm actually really looking forward to wearing that cardigan. I need to put this back on. I'm too cold without it on. All right. Okay, so the Stephen West make along. I have got clue 2 there ready to go. My hope is today to be finished. It's upside down. To be finished with my repeat rows. I've just got to do 14 of these yellow. I've got 11 done. Then I think I'll actually give it a quick steam block. I've got my steamer out and ready to go, because I'm really interested to see how these gorgeous little braids go under the steaming. But I got to tell you, I looked at clue 2. Now I watched about the first 5 minutes of the video, and then I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to stop watching because I want to wait till I finish this. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But what I did do is I skipped right through to the end and looked about the last 2-3 minutes of the video so I could see what the end result of what we're doing is. Is it sacrilege to say I don't like the look of it? I really don't. I love this. I don't like the look of the next part. Obviously I'm still going to do it. But maybe if I was going to psychoanalyze myself, which I'm not really into, I would suggest that might be why I haven't rushed through knitting this yet and keep on knitting, I don't know, all the other things, the cardigan, this guy. Oh, it's so wet. I've got to go hang it back out. But anyway, the actual knitting. I will pop a couple of minutes at the end of this, only if you're interested in watching. I actually quite like watching people just sit there and knit, and I just happened to record myself knitting 2 rows of this. So if you're someone that likes to watch someone sit there and knit, what you might enjoy about my knitting is I am a slow knitter. I keep on watching these gorgeous YouTube videos of people who knit, and they knit continental and they knit so fast and it's beautiful, and every time I watch it and I feel inadequate about my own knitting. I am a slow knitter. I knit in English style. I don't throw, I flick. So the yarn, I don't drop my knitting, but it looks like, as I'm knitting, I only noticed when I watched my video back, it looks like I've got a stranglehold on my knitting, but I promise you it doesn't hurt my hands. I knit in the way that's comfortable for me. So if you want to, I'll put, 3-5 minutes, who knows, just at the end of this if you want to sit there and watch me knitting. You will hear the occasional tap, tap, tap. And all it is I've got my chow goose, and it's actually the cord hitting my laptop that's on my lap while I'm recording. So I apologise for that. I realise a little bit in and try and move it so you don't hear that tapping constantly. So anyway, so that's my Stephen West update. I'm struggling with it. I'm absolutely going to persist with it, and my plan is to knit today. I'm stuck at home. I've mentioned before I'm a secondary teacher. My school, part of it's all flooded, and the whole area that I teach in is pretty much underwater, and it's still going up. It hasn't hit the peak yet. So I'm out of school for a couple of days, because even when we get that fixed, then there's the sludge and the fact that the sewerage doesn't work and there's no fresh water and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm getting at is, in the midst of all this tragedy, I'm actually going to get some knitting done, because I actually can't get up to that place to help with sandbagging or any of that sort of stuff, because I can't get through. So anyway, I should hopefully have an update of how this is progressing in a couple of days. You never know, I might be on to clue 2. We'll see. But as I said, I'm hoping. Look, I trust in the process. Stephen West designing is brilliant, and I love them as art pieces, because that's what they are. They're absolutely art pieces. So I'm just going to trust in the process and just go along for the ride. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Again, nice and short and sweet, just giving you this quick update. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, or the next few days, or even the next week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.